As Stephen M. Smith of Touchdown Alabama has just recently let me know, it is Mercer Hate Week. So get your hate fueled up for the big game on Saturday. Alabama Crimson Tide fans. Stephen M. Smith joins us each and every Wednesday to break down Alabama football and the upcoming opponent. And then once you get by Mercer, you know, Auburn should be not an issue. So Stephen M., how you doing tonight?
Doing well, getting some chuckling in. Mercer Hate Week. I don't know how much stock you can really put in that, but this will be a game where, for the first time under the Nick Saban era at Alabama since 2007, you're watching a cupcake non-conference game that is going to tell you a lot about yourself, where the linebacker play is concerned. Alabama at linebacker last week against Mississippi State struggled with Keith Holcomb in that spot. Dylan Moses has a lot of potential, but still a freshman learning some things. Rashawn Evans, kind of the one-man crew at that position group, getting guys lined up. And Alabama defensive front, they got pushed off the ball, but you have to give Mississippi State credit. The Bulldogs, a lot of talent, leadership, experience on the offensive line. And despite having the likes of Dak Prescott at one point in time, this is probably the best Mississippi State team that Dan Mullen has fielded in a long time. When you talk about offense, defense, and special teams, State is 7-3. If State was to win out, they end the regular season at 9-3 mark, and that's probably the best record Dan Mullen has pulled in since he's been in Starkville, going back to 2009. So a lot of people discredit State, but that was a tough game Alabama played on last week. And now this week, you look at the linebacking core against Mercer, and though we can all assume that Alabama will take care of Mercer, it's more than just taking care of Mercer. It's how you play in your taking care of Mercer.
Mississippi State, of course, Stephen, you will know once I remind you of this. Mississippi State is the answer to what can be a long-standing trivia question, because Mississippi State was the number one team in the very first unveiling of the college football playoff rankings. So Dak Prescott and company, they were undefeated, and then they lost to Alabama.
And what a college football playoff that was in 2014. To start, we're going into that season when you had the whole state of Mississippi up in arms. Ole Miss was undefeated. Mississippi State was doing its thing. And like the whole fried magnolia was on food, Mississippi football, and like your two college teams undefeated. And one of the two starts off the college football playoff at number one, that being Mississippi State. So 3 years ago, the state of Mississippi, for a good portion of college football, was on top of the world.
And I bring that up because you had mentioned that Dan Mullen vying for his best regular season and postseason at Mississippi State. That team went 10-2. They lost the Egg Bowl after they lost to Alabama a couple weeks earlier. They lost the Orange Bowl, but did make a New Year's Six game against Georgia Tech and went down to the Yellow Jackets. So enough about Mississippi State. They're in the rearview mirror, and fortunately for Bama, they got by that one 31-24. You've got some injury updates to bring us up to date on. Would like to know about Ross Pierschbaker and Mr. Minka Fitzpatrick.
Well, first off, Pierschbaker, a high ankle sprain against Mississippi State. Early in that game, he will be out between 2 and 4 weeks. Hopefully just 2 weeks where Alabama is concerned. They would like to have him back for the Iron Bowl, but he's out for this week against Mercer. Pierschbaker, a 3-year starter at left guard, former 4-star prospect, a huge staple on this offensive line. But filling in for him will be senior J.C. Halsenauer out of Woodbury, Minnesota. Halsenauer, a former 4-star prospect in his own right, coming in that 2014 class. He was listed at number 190 in the ESPN 300 when he came in. So very talented guy, very capable guy, one of the top center and guard prospects coming into the University of Alabama during that 2014 recruiting cycle. And according to Coach Saban, had a lot of good things to say about Halsenauer. on that final drive where Jalen Hurts went 3 for 4 for 72 yards. Of course, the 26-yard touchdown to Devontae Smith to win the game. Hassenauer highly involved on that drive, protecting Jalen Hurts, giving him time to throw in the pocket. So the man has played a lot of football. No worries at all from my end where J.C. Hassenauer is concerned. As for Minkah Fitzpatrick, had the hamstring injury against LSU, tried to gut it out against Mississippi State, but you could still tell there were moments where he was wincing in pain, wasn't really 100%, didn't show the same burst with the exception of maybe 1 to 2 plays. On Monday, Saban did not have a team practice. Tuesday and, of course, today, the guys back out there on the practice field. Minkah Fitzpatrick sporting a black non-contact jersey, not going through drills, just kind of standing off to the side, away from the work area there. Fitzpatrick more than likely will not play against Mercer. And with that being said, Alabama could see Deontay Thompson starting place of Minkah Fitzpatrick. Thompson, the redshirt sophomore out of Orange, Texas, 4-star recruit when he came into the 2015 class, somebody that was fluctuated between wide receiver and defensive back for quite some time before settling on DB the summer of last year, and then coming into this season. Well, the summer coming into this season is where he was kind of flipped from wide receiver to DB, but had been fluctuated for quite some time prior to the offseason coming to this season. But Deontay Thompson, who has been Minkah's understudy at that safety position, Crimson Tide coaching staff, a lot of confidence in him, can make tackles in space, can dissect plays, a very much so playmaking ability type of guy. So Deontay Thompson filling in for Minkah, J.C. Hassenauer to fill in for Ross Pierschbaker.